Oh, looky here. Hey, let's do a little short review of Robert Crais' Stalking the Angel. You know, not long ago I reviewed the first book in Robert Crais' Elvis Cole Jie Pike private investigator series. I loved it so much. I loved rereading it so much. I thought I would reread the second one right after that. So we're going to get a short little review for this. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. By way of introduction, this is my YouTube channel where we review pretty much every book I ever read or have read. 3,500 books, folks, up in my library, and we're reviewing every last one of them eventually. And I've been collecting these Robert Crais, Elvis Cole Jie Pike mysteries ever since the early 90s. I've been rereading them every couple of years when they come out. I love them. You know, they started in 1987 with The Monkey's Raincoat. This is book number 2, Robert Crais. You can see right there, it says, "An Elvis Cole and Jie Pike novel." That's what they all say. Let's get right to it. You know we review covers. We review the covers. I just don't review the book. I review the whole package. Let's talk about the covers. This is the mass market paperback that just came out. They've redesigned all the paperbacks, all the mass markets, like with this flashy new kind of thing. This is the original hardcover of the Stalking Angel, of Stalking the Angel. So let's take a look at these. Which one do we like better? You know, I conducted a poll on The Monkey's Raincoat with the original hardcover and then the mass market. So we're going to do another one here. This has got kind of flashy type. This has got just a dude with the gun and the tattoos. By the way, the tattoos play a big part in the story. I understand why they're there. I'm going to tell you, which one do I like? Which one do I like better? Which graphic design, which one do I like better? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to surprise the folks and I'm going to go with the paperback. I know. On the Monkey's Raincoat, I chose the original hardcover over the flashy paperback. This time I'm going with the flashy paperback. I never really cared for this cover. It's weird and bizarro. I'm not into muscle guys with tattoos, so thus my decision. I like this one better. Although, you know, this one here ain't bad. Ain't the worst cover I've seen, that's for sure. So Stalking the Angel, who are Elvis Cole and Jie Pike, are private investigators. They're kind of like Starsky and Hutch, only way more badass and way more wisecracking. I consider these guys sort of a mixture between, you know, Robert B. Parker's Spencer and Michael Connelly's Harry Bosch. Now, these are set in Los Angeles. They are very, very steeped in Los Angeles, Hollywood landscape, atmosphere, and lure, which I love. You can always love. I don't live in Los Angeles. Don't ever want to live in Los Angeles. Don't want to have anything to do with Los Angeles. The only time I cared about Los Angeles was when my Raiders played in Los Angeles when I was a kid. They were the Los Angeles Raiders. That's the only time I ever visited there, was because of the Raiders. But I do love reading about all the criminals and crooks and private investigators that are in the Robert Crais novels, well, in the Michael Connelly novels too. Let's give Harry Bosch a shout out. Stalking Angel, Elvis Cole. This always starts out in his office. We've always got to start out in Elvis Cole and Jie Pike's office, an office which is decorated with all manner of Disney paraphernalia and Hollywood paraphernalia and collectibles. And because Elvis is the only one that hangs out in the office anyway, so he's decorated it with all his stuff. Jie Pike never hangs out in the office. Anyway, Elvis is always sitting in his office, and someone walks in and presents him with a mystery to solve. You're a private investigator. Here we go. I'll pay you to solve this mystery. So this time, Elvis gets tasked with tracking down our dude that comes in is named Bradley Warren. He comes into the office and he's like, I have lost a 13th century Japanese manuscript, and I gotta get it back. So you gotta go find it. Here we go. Elvis Cole's like, I don't know nothing about Japan or Japanese manuscripts. The only thing I know about Japan is from what I've read in Shogun and what I watched on the miniseries starring Richard Chamberlain, Shogun. That's all they know about Japan. Which is about what most all Americans, that's about all they know about Japan. Pearl Harbor, you know, that kind of thing. So now he's got to enter in. So what happens is Elvis Cole steps out of his office and he's got to go find his partner, Joe Pike. Elvis Cole's the wisecracking dude. Joe Pike is the muscle of the team. He goes and finds Joe Pike and he's like, this is what we gotta go find, this Japanese manuscript. Dude's gonna pay us a lot of money, but it's not as easy as it seems. I mean, not all is cracked up to be what it's cracked up to be. There's more evil things involved in this manuscript, and they end up in Little Tokyo. I didn't know there was a Little Tokyo in LA, but apparently there is. Most big cities have a Chinatown. Well, LA has Little Tokyo. They go into Little Tokyo. They get involved with the Yakuza Japanese mafia. They get involved with a bunch of bad guys that have a lot of tribal tattoos, which is part of this thing. And then they search for the manuscript. Things spiral out of control. The mystery deepens and blah, 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 etc., etc. Well, we know how. I don't give spoilers here. I'm just setting the book up, hoping that you like it. I enjoyed, and like I said, just like Monkeys, the Monkeys Raincoat. Monkeys Raincoat came out in 87. This one here came out in 89, and I'm telling you, we're in Little Tokyo, and we've got some wisecracking private investigators. And I'm telling you, not everything that comes out of these guys' mouths is all that politically correct. And so, if you can stomach some things that are in this book that probably would not show up in books written today, I think you'll be all right. I mean, just as long as you can, you can handle it. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, right? Because I don't think Robert Crais puts that kind of stuff in there. He puts a little bit of it, but not quite as much as these older books. Back in the day when people weren't so easily offended. And let's be honest, those days were so much better. So much better. I give Stalking the Angel another 8.10. I mean, I've read them all once. I'm starting to reread them again. Monkeys Raincoat, I loved it so much that I hurried and picked up the next one to reread this because I haven't read it since the early 90s, quite frankly. So I don't remember anything about it, but I liked it. 8.10. No, 8.10. That's not how the rankings work. 8 out of 10. There we go. 8 out of 10. Stalking the Angel.